All right. Good evening, everybody. This is the Select Board meeting via Zoom this evening, and it is 6 o'clock on Monday, June 15th, 2020. And so I'm going to call everybody to order. And right now we have Jay Wilson, Road Foreman, Angela Sanborn, Select Board, Shelley Huber, Select Board, Melissa Brown, Treasurer. We have Winetta somewhere, and Mike is about to come in the door, Mike Fitzpatrick. So we have one person missing, and Mike will be in the screen in a minute. Hi, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first item on the agenda tonight is any additions or amendments to the agenda. Does anybody have something? Oh, and I'm sorry, Ken Esty is a visitor here tonight. Welcome, Ken. Can you hear me? Ken? Oh, okay, so no additions or amendments, so we will start with the approval of the May 18th amended minutes. Is anybody who can make a motion to accept the minutes, please?
I don't want to accept them. I'm still not happy with the correspondence. We had quite a discussion about what needed to be put into the correspondence, and it's not satisfactory.
To you? Not satisfactory to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody?
We asked Juanetta to put in the minutes a complete sentence. It should say who, what, where, when, and how information, and it does not.
Okay. We'll have to discuss that because we said one sentence the most. And
There isn't, Marion, there's not a complete sentence.
Okay, which item are you talking about?
All of them.
All of them? Okay. Anybody else have something to say? Yeah, let me just see. 1 second. Well, I'm looking at the correspondence, and there is a short detail about each one, what the purpose was. River Road.
It doesn't even make sense. I don't understand it,
Okay.
especially the first one,
I don't know why you don't understand it.
because it doesn't make any sense, Marion. It's not grammar. It's not a. There's no complete information here. Response suggests to refer to abutting property owners. I don't know what that means. And that's not even a complete sentence. It's just a state. It's like a. It's in parentheses. It says River Road searching for rare plants.
Well, the rare.
Who's searching for rare plants? Who's the organization?
Plant survey, the committee, which was.
Excuse me? I can't hear you.
Angela? Angela, I can't hear you.
You're off.
I think this is fine because it gives everybody just a brief introduction to what we talked about. And if they needed further information about the research, they could go to the town office and collect that because it's part of the public minutes.
Yes.
Well, I think what we had talked about was the complete sentence.
That's what
So
we didn't talk about.
we did talk about a complete sentence, Marion.
No,
My personal opinion is I think this is fine.
Also, for instance, the Newfane Garden Club, giving up town hall gardening, parentheses, sent a thank you card, parentheses. It doesn't also express our gratitude to the Newfane Garden Club for all the years of service that they did this. I wasn't even aware that they were doing it.
Well,
So this is a document to tell the town people what was discussed.
Kelly, the letter was read, and we discussed this already. We cannot go over this again. agreed that we would put a note next to it. We're not,
No, we did not agree to a note. We
We
agreed to a
agreed to a
statement, a sentence.
uh-huh.
Kelly,
That's what was made. Okay. Any other, Winetta?
just a clarification, in the parentheses, that's the action that I took as far as sending the thank you club to the Newfane Garden, a thank you card, expressing our gratitude for their years of service. It's a one-line representation of the correspondence.
I don't understand why it's so difficult to just write a sentence saying who, what, where, and when information, as it's simple.
Well,
Why is this such a difficult task?
Okay. We already discussed this, Shelley, and we took action, and it was voted on that we could write a brief description.
You didn't, no, we talked about having a complete sentence, a sentence.
Okay. Anybody else?
You're an educator, you know what a sentence is, not a blurb.
Anybody else have something to say about the minutes, please? All those in favor?
Michael.
Second.
We haven't made, we don't have a motion yet, Marion.
Oh. And most, well,
I
actually.
know we did talk at last weekend about putting in a full
Anybody-
sentence on
Excuse me, Mike?
this, so people knew what they were looking at. And then we did say that the last 2 weeks ago. And I thought we all agreed that that's the way it would happen. I'm just trying to find where the hell it is on this thing right now.
On the
May
minutes?
18th, page 3. May 18th, page 3.
It's not even in our minutes for the last meeting. I'm very concerned about the minutes. I'm concerned about information that should be reported as we discussed.
You said that. We understand that you're concerned about that.
It's not even in the minutes for June 1st meeting where we discussed it.
It was taken care of. She amended the minutes, which is what you wanted.
No, we didn't amend the minutes.
Is there a motion from anybody to accept the
I'll make a
minutes?
motion on the amendment. As long as Shelley wants it a certain way, why don't she go over it, Juanetta, tell them how they want it in there. And at our next meeting, we'll approve it.
It's not even in,
I worked on those correspondence notes with Winter, so if you want tell me something, please direct it to me. Because I was here sitting with Winetta. Maybe, Shelley, since it's important to you, as I invited you
I
last.
just made a motion.
I'll second that, Mike.
I think we've had enough discussion. Why don't we just vote on it? That way we get on to other business.
Thank you.
Accepting the minutes, please say.
And I don't see where it's that hard to, to put some sort of description of what it is, and that's it, and be done with it. And people see it, they come in, they know what it is. Like I said, I had no idea even still what kind of plants they were talking about. Haven't been in and read it anyways, but.
and what's the organization? It's not done correctly.
So Mike made a motion that we table it and you go in and discuss with Juanetta what you're looking for, and I seconded that, so.
Okay, so what's the vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Are you going into work?
I'm not going in, I'm doing email. I guess because of you guys not being able to do it, I'll write it so that you understand what I mean.
That's very good. Okay. All those in favor of accepting the minutes, please say aye.
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 Oh, we're not accepting the minutes. This has to be changed.
Well, yeah, they're gonna table that part so they rewrite the other thing, but.
We can address the second part of it.
We could accept, can't we? Or you wanna table the whole thing till the next meeting?
Yeah, we're not approving these minutes. They're not correct.
All right. All right, so what's the next thing?
The minutes from June 1st to be approved. Motion for that, please. These are unapproved select board minutes for June 18th. June 1st, excuse me.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the minutes have been approved.
You need to take a roll call.
No, we don't.
Well, I didn't say aye or anything.
Right, but Mike did, and Angela did, and I think that's a quorum.
Okay.
Right, so it was accepted.
The other thing is I just stopped over to the office to try to get the papers, for tonight's meeting. And I wasn't able to get the whole packet of information. So I don't have anything really in front of me. My printer's not working and I'm not making copies.
Well,
So there's got to be some sort of a protocol while we're on.
email, did you get it via email?
I get it by email, but I'm not making, I can't go back and forth on my email and be on Zoom.
What time did you try to come in to the office?
I came in at 5:20, knocked on the door. I didn't make a phone call to say I was there.
Well, the door's locked, and if whatever doesn't know who's coming,
You're right.
that's the policy here.
Yeah.
Policy is that the doors are locked, and you either make an appointment with the town clerk, or you call Winetta and you tell her you're on your way, and to please open the door.
I understand that, but I wasn't able to do that. I'm a busy woman. I'm sorry. But what I'm trying to explain is that if there's a way that we can get our packages at a certain time before the meeting.
Well, they've been in the box since all morning.
I know, but I work, Marion.
And you live about a minute or two by car.
I worked too and was able to get my whole packet, so I'm not sure what the problem is.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to say to you that we need to be able to have some sort of protocol about getting the packet.
We asked this a while ago, and Winetta told you, and we all said,
Plus, there was more stuff that came through this afternoon, reports and stuff.
well, you're coming at 5:20. That's when you decided to pick them up?
Yes,
Before 10 minutes before the meeting started.
yes. I looked at them online.
I was here.
Marion, the only thing I'm saying is that if there's some way of being able to have that packet available, like if it can be put in outside for me or something.
We told you that you could come in.
Okay, let's move on, Marion. This is nonsense.
Okay. Road foreman, Jay, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
The pavement marking for the traffic safety audit was completed this weekend. So we have stop bars, speed limits painted on the road, and some parking lines on West Street. The rest of this year's paving was completed on Friday on Back Street, the ditch on Dover Road in South Newfane, and at the Green Iron Bridge. There's no updates on the Depot Road culvert. There's no updates on the sand salt shed. We had completely leveled and cleaned up the area for the gravel and are now restocking our gravel pile. I received a draft of the safety plan for the town garage from Northeast Municipal, and we're right now working on the storage of the compressed gas tanks. So I'll have that at some point in the next couple of weeks. And we had another mandatory pre-bid meeting on Monroe Bridge this past Tuesday. We had one bidder, the same bidder we had the first time. So we should have a bid to open tonight.
Well, thank you very much for all the work you and the crew do, and thank you for the report.
That bid's been downsized too.
The report.
Yeah, it's a new bid.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike, what did you say? Mike,
What's that?
I'm sorry, did you ask something of Jay?
No, I just asked Jay, I said, because they redid the bids for the bridge.
Should we do that now?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, we have the bid here. Do you want me to open it, Jay?
Yeah, might as well open it.
Okay, this is Town of Newfane Monroe Bridge Rehabilitation. And it says this form must be used to present a valid bill. Do you want just the total, or do you want it itemized that I read it? Jay?
Do the total and then itemize it.
Okay. The total project cost, estimated project cost, is $210,845. And it would take 3 days to install new plug joints and sealed curbs at both piers. And the price for that is $19,950. Clean out, repair as necessary, and reinstall draining troughs. 1 week, and the amount is $29,885. Repair deteriorated concrete at piers. Take 6 weeks, and the amount is $154,335. And the last item is repair concrete curbs, blowout and patch. That's 2 days, and the amount is $6,675. Again, total cost is $210,845. The estimated completion date is October 30th, 2020, if awarded by July 1st, 2020. And the entire project must be completed by October 30th. And the name of the contract construction is Neil H. Daniels Incorporated of Daniels Construction in Scotney, Vermont. And he signed this on June 15th, 2020.
How's that stand for what we got money for?
I think we're over by 845. And Mark Pickering wanted to review it again.
Right.
Once the new bid's in.
Yeah. I think what I would recommend is let Mark look at it, and at that point, if he's all in favor of it and we got the money, award it.
Jay, is that for the budget for 2021?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a $175,000 grant that the state's giving us. Balances are out of our budget from 21.
This
So
covers all the necessary stuff it needed covering, right?
Yep. Yep.
I'll make a motion, give it to Mark. And if he's all happy with it and we've got the money, come back and we'll award it to him. We don't have to wait till the next meeting, I wouldn't think, though.
I second it.
Any discussion?
So the next meeting is the first one in July, is that right?
The 6th, I
Right,
think it is.
6.
Like I said, if he's all in favor of it, I would just go ahead and, award it to him. He's got everything that he wanted down, and we got money to cover it.
Okay.
Because they want to start on the 1st, right?
Yeah, well, potentially, yes.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to make a motion, or how do you want to do that?
I think I already did. I made it, and Angela seconded it.
Okay.
All those in favor of Mike's motion, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so the motion stands.
And one other thing I forgot to put on the report is I've got the reimbursement filled out for the erosion inventory that Wyndham Regional did for us, the grant we had. So we'll get some money back in for that. 6,500, I think we'll get reimbursed, or somewhere in that neighborhood. Is that right, Melissa?
Melissa?
Yes,
Was
that's
that-
right. 6572.
Okay. Yep.
Henrietta?
Does that add to the budget for this year?
It's
That's a reimbursement.
yeah, reimbursement. Yep.
For this year, though?
Yep.
Okay, so Winetta will have this written bid for you?
Yeah, if she just wants to scan it to me, I can send it out to him in the morning.
Okay, great. I will. Okay, so thank you. Thank you so much again.
May I make a motion to accept the road foreman and road commissioner's report?
Yes, you
Okay.
may. Any second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any further discussion on Jerry's report? All those in favor of accepting it, please say aye.
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 Okay, we have accepted your report, and thanks again, Jerry. And Christopher's not able to be here tonight, but please say thank you. And also the road commissioner. Okay, administrative assistant report. I'm going to read it because Renetta's in the other room and she just.
Well, it's treasurer's report first.
Oh, you are right. Thank you. I have it right here. Melissa.
Okay. So payroll and workers' comp audit report. I received back our payroll and workers' comp audit this past week. We received a refund in the amount of $659 this year. They were very pleased with the subcontractors and non-employee work agreements. We've all been working really hard to make sure that everyone that works for the town receives a non-employee work agreement and that we get the insurance certificates from them. The homestead rebate payments. I received a notification that we may not be receiving all of our homestead rebates until August 1st or sometime thereafter. With this delay, we will have to delay mailing out our tax bills and delay our first tax installment. Doris has been monitoring how many homestead rebates have come in so far. She'll continue to monitor it for the next few weeks. If we get most of the rebates in, we're going to send out the tax bills on time and just make necessary adjustments for the ones that didn't come in until August. The state also informed us that we have to make the first tax payment to the school on our regular schedule, regardless of delaying our taxes. If we delay our taxes, we need to take out a tax anticipation note in the amount of $890,757.66 to pay the school district. There's a new bill that came out, the H951, and it just recently passed saying that the state will pay for the interest on short-term borrowing due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We should qualify for this if we have to take out a tax anticipation note, and I'll apply for it if need be. The state treasury, twice a year, December and June, we pay the state of Vermont for non-residential education taxes. Normally the amounts are $130,000 to $150,000. I received my final cash flow report for this fiscal year, and we're actually receiving back $15,337.69 instead of having to pay, which is good news. Yeah, the state will pay West River School District, and then West River School District will pay us that $15,000+.
That's great.
And that's for
Yeah.
people, that's for kids that are not going to school here, but somewhere else?
No, I don't know how the state figures that. I don't know if it's due to the COVID-19, but even last December was a lot cheaper. It was like $30,000 instead of the $150,000.
But you said it was non-residential?
Yeah, I don't, somehow the state collects the non-residential taxes through us, through our payments, and that's when we pay them twice a year. So they're saying this year that we don't have to pay all that, and they're giving
Right.
us $15,000 back.
I'm just wondering if it has something to do with kids going to residential settings or out of state to go to school. You don't know, right?
No, I don't know. It's just they're
Just a tax.
non-resident. Yeah, I don't know how they calculate it, to be honest with you. That's all a state thing. But anyways, it's better than us paying $150,000.
Exactly.
Okay, so last meeting you asked me what the quit claim deed was. And when we do the quit claim deed, we are saying that we are not guaranteeing a free and clear title to the property that we're actually selling. That means that we have not done a title search to see if there are any undischarged mortgages, easements, liens, or if somebody passed away and the death certificate was not filed. By doing the quitclaim deed, we are also saying that the town of Newfane is not responsible for helping or fixing any issues that come up with the property as far as the title is concerned. You're buying it as is, and all problems are now the new owner's responsibility to fix. If we had done a warranty deed, we would have searched out all this information and guaranteed that the title is clear, and if any issues do come up, the town would have to help resolve it.
Thanks for the clarification.
Sure. So lastly, and then I kind of need to add to this. I got an email from Jordan, our auditor. He's going to come out. He's from Sullivan and Powers. His preliminary audit is going to be July 6th. And then he's going to come out August 17 and 18 to the office to finish up. So with that being said, he needs things closed out and reconciled for the whole year. My end is fine. I know Doris was doing the recons for the bank statements, and I was giving them to her monthly, so I did give her a buzz today to just let her be aware that we needed those all caught up and reconciled. She's not up to the task. What's that?
When was the last time it was reconciled?
From what I found out today, October of 2019.
Really?
We haven't reconciled our books since October of last year.
The bank statements.
Melissa, can you talk to her?
I can't hear Marion.
I couldn't either, actually, Marion.
Oh, you couldn't hear?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm asking you to please speak to Doris and let her know what date you need the reconciliations by. And
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I've actually spoke to her today, and she's not up to the task of finishing them and has asked the board to try and find somebody else to do them. The only one that I can think of is maybe the treasurer in Townsend, and I did just out of curiosity give her a call to see if she's interested, and she'll let me know in 2 days.
oh, okay.
But you gotta have this all done by July 6th, right?
Yeah, the books all need to be reconciled.
Well, thank you for calling and asking for help. And
So what happens if the girl from Townsend can't do it? But then we're stuck without anybody else except for,
Yeah, you gotta find somebody by the end of this month to get that done.
well, if they got to be done by the 6th, they haven't been done clear back to October. That's quite a lot of work to do in the next week or two.
Yeah, it is.
What qualifications does somebody need to be able to
I mean,
do?
you should have somebody tomorrow that's going to start on it.
Melissa,
Qualifications, I mean, I don't know, they need to know how to just balance the checkbooks, I guess, ins and outs, and there's some reports that need to be printed up. I can show them how to do the reports.
okay. Good,
You're
thank
gonna
you.
be hard pressed to find somebody at this point, I think.
Melissa,
So fingers crossed that Elaine can do it.
would somebody get paid to do this?
If
You
she
guys
can't
set-
do it, that's it. You do?
What's that?
You can't do it. Can you do it?
Who?
It's not
No, the
illegal
point-
for me to do it, but it's not suggested by the auditor to do it. If I do it, you need to have somebody else look them over too. But he doesn't like it that I do them too.
Yeah,
Right, that was the whole point of getting someone else to do the reconciliation.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, worst case scenario, you know, two of us could do them and get them done, just so we have them done. 'Cause I don't know if the auditor is going to do the books or do the auditing without them done.
What about asking the former delinquent tax collector?
That's you
Samantha?
guys. It's up to you guys. It's not up to me, to be honest with you. It's your department.
Melissa,
Yeah.
I would suggest that you think about calling the auditing company and explain to them that the person who was going to do it is now unable to complete the project. And is it okay if you can do it? Or do they have a suggestion of somebody who could do it, a neutral person?
I don't know if I want to bring that to his attention, that they're not done on a monthly basis like they should have been doing
Yeah,
or should have been done.
now it's public.
Yeah, sorry.
That's right.
I already know from past that he's going to say you can do them. It's not illegal to do them, but you need to have somebody, you know, look over them.
Melissa, let me know what you find out from
Definitely.
the Townsend treasurer, and I will ask our former delinquent tax collector if she'd be interested, and then we can talk. And if need be, I can sit down and do it with you and watch you do it.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Angela. That's fine.
I did it
I would
for
be a
her
backup
for a
on
little
that.
while.
Yeah, it's not so much watching me do it. It's their concern is because I'm doing all the ins and outs already that they don't want me balancing them. You know, somebody needs to look over that. I don't want to get myself in a position, but like I said, I'm willing to help out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So when you hear from the Townsend treasurer, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you for your report, and is there somebody who can please make a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
I'll make a motion to accept the report.
I'll second it.
Okay. Any further discussion?
We did get copies of the budget to date.
What?
We did get copies of the budget. That's it's the 12th month, correct?
Yeah, I sent you guys all the budget reports and the balance sheets.
Yes.
Yes.
Did they not go through or?
No, I looked at them this afternoon real quick. I got them this afternoon. You know, you
Yep.
sent them out.
Yep.
So I didn't have a real good chance to look to see where we are on the budget. Do you have an idea of a report on that?
Not a lot's changed. We haven't really gone over budget, only on lately the cemetery maintenance. Other than that, nothing's really flagged out that we've gone over budget.
Okay. I'll take a closer look at it.
All right, I can look at it tomorrow, and if anything stands out to me, I'll let you know.
Okay.
But I
So-
haven't had time to go over it.
We have enough money to pay the bills.
We have enough money to pay the bills without a doubt. We just don't have enough money if we have to pay the school bill without getting our tax revenue in first. That
Yeah.
we won't have.
Right. So when does that have to be paid?
Usually we get taxes in by August 15th, and then we have to pay them by 20 days. So August or September 5th. Doris said there's about 400, I think, people that we've gotten the homestead rebates from, and normally it's just over 500 per year that come in.
So you're
So we're
saying,
getting close.
yeah, 75% or so there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I spoke with her and she said it was going to be kind of hard to get all the work done and get the grand list populated, I guess.
Yeah, I think Bill's going to do that today or tomorrow.
Okay. If they could keep us up to date on to where they're at, so we're not running around at the last minute trying to figure things out, because you're saying we need to pay the bill, what, in September?
Yep.
And
I think you ought to know by July 6th because they'll set the tax rate and all that stuff if we have everything. So you should know by July 6th whether we can go ahead with tax bills or not.
okay, so July, so, okay, then we have time to figure out if we have to take a loan out, correct?
Yeah, we'll have time.
Okay, great. Well, thank
I
you.
can start emailing the banks if you want now, just as a heads up to see what we can do, just in case.
Melissa,
Yeah,
the administrative assistance report, which I have in front of me, which I was going to read when we're done with your report, actually has information about your work with the auditing company. So I'll read what Renetta wrote, and you can answer that for us too.
Can't hear you, Marion.
yeah, I can't hear you either. Sorry, Marion.
You can?
Probably not a good one to read it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Sullivan, Powers and Company, the CPA that audits the books for the town, has sent in a quote, scope of services for the end of the year of FY 2020 audit. Based on their knowledge of our accounts, they have estimated that this year's services can be performed for a fee of $16,800, providing that the books are closed and reconciled. This letter needs to have an authorized signature accepting these terms.
yep. Last year we budgeted 16,000 and it ended up being 12,300 for their bill for fiscal year 19.
And how about the fee for this year for $16,800?
I think that's their estimate depending on what they think.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of bill it as they go.
How much is it, 16 or 60?
16,800.
68?
16,000.
16,000, all right.
They estimated 16,000, I think, last year, or right
Yeah.
around there, and we ended up only paying them 12,300.
Yep.
Here it says 16,800. Is that correct or not?
Yeah, that's what they're estimating for this fiscal year.
It's not the billed, you know, it's not billable at 16.8. It's an estimate. So if they come
Yeah.
under, we could pay less.
The more work that they have to do, the more is going to be billed. So the less that I can have them do, and the faster we can get it done, the less we're going to owe them.
Right. Their fees are very expensive, you know, just by the nature of their business.
Yeah.
And they didn't have anyone that they could offer. I mean, they're not local per se. They're in upper,
Montpelier.
yeah. I wonder if in the future we could think about having a certified public, accountant do that reconciliation Is that something that they can go online to do?
No.
No, they have to be
I gotta-
in the office?
Mhm.
Yeah. You know, to have a regular service done so that it's taken care of. We don't have to rely on trying to find someone. I mean, I do reconciliations, but, you know, I don't do them for, you know, governments. I don't know if they're that much more difficult. But
Personally, I don't think they are, but I mean,
Yeah.
I can bang through them quick and easy, but I do all the work anyway, so I kind of know what's going in and out.
Yeah.
You guys had authorized $50 per each one to pay the person.
Right. So I wonder if we could put it up on Front Porch and see if somebody would come forward too. Especially with, you know, people working remotely and, you know, displaced or whatever.
Well, I think we already have 2 ideas for that, and if that doesn't pan out, then we can move to that.
Okay, so who would do that?
What, put it on Front Porch Forum?
Yeah, follow up with it to make sure. Are you going to handle that?
Well, yes, I'll handle that.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're gonna need to find somebody
Soon.
going forward anyways. You know, if we get ourselves out of this pickle here, you're still gonna need somebody after that.
Right.
You're going to let me know after you hear from Townsend, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
I think the important thing now is to find somebody to complete this project. And then we have time to look for somebody who's interested in doing it from now on. But the important thing is to get it done now. Okay.
So we made a motion to approve the treasurer's report. It's been seconded, and we didn't vote on it yet.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, thank you, Melissa. And Melissa, we really appreciate your time coming here on these meetings. I know that this is something new for you. And thank you very much for your report. And it's your choice if you want to hang out or go and do other things tonight, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thanks a lot, Melissa. Okay, next item is the administrative assistant report. And there are just 2, well, no, there are 3 things that I'm going to read for Renetta right now. The first item is COVID-19 has brought about changes that affect our Newfane residents and how they may go about their daily lives. Quote, Newfane Neighbors was created to help in any crisis situation or just a situation without a crisis, and in part to the, quote, Emergency Management Committee. There are volunteers, our friends and neighbors that are willing to lend a helping hand. If you need to get a ride to a doctor's appointment, go shopping, pick up a prescription, or doing some chores. We can help, we can get the help that the people need. To date, we have been able to help a few families. If there are others out there who need help or wondering about services, this is a note actually from Jay to please call Jay at, well, call Renetta at 365-7772 extension 4, or call Jay at 348-7949. So Renetta and Jay are very willing and happy to help those people if they call. I know that Jay has said in the last few times we talked to him, Jay, that he said that actually the people you've spoken to really haven't needed too much help. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've had just a couple of people that the volunteers have been able to help that I was aware of, but other than that, it's been pretty good. But there's a group out there that's done some good things to help a few people that just haven't been able to do some stuff. So,
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your help with this, and also thank you. The next item is that the Windham County Humane Society contract is up for the annual renewal. And this contract fee is the same as last year, and the fee is $486. It will allow the Wyndham County Human Society to act as our holding facility for stray animals at Newfane ACO Animal Control Officer picks up. So this has to be signed, and I can do that tonight while I'm here. And just need your approval.
Make a motion to sign it.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so that will be taken care of. And the last thing on Winetta's report is a question that I guess all of us are thinking about anyway. Have we been thinking about going back to select board in person, or are we not ready for that yet? Or we don't even have to take a vote on it. It's something that we should think about. Our next meeting is July 6th, and certainly things are easing up in the state of Vermont right now. And it would be possible to have a meeting in person as long as people wear masks and sit with social distancing, or we can continue for a while doing Zoom. If anybody has a thought about it now, please speak up.
We should find out what BCTV's thought is and when they're going to be going back.
Right.
That's probably the biggest thing for everybody.
Okay.
So if Juanetta could contact BCTV
Yeah.
at some point in the next week and let us know, that would be fantastic.
Okay. Great. That's a great idea. Okay. So that's the end of Winetta's report, and
You missed number 5. There's number 5.
there is.
The zoning administrator. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, I don't have it here.
Number 5 on mine says the zoning administrator's 3-year appointment will expire on the 31st of July, 2020. Will the select board consider doing a performance evaluation as they have done in the past in order to appoint for the upcoming 3 years?
Okay, thank you. I don't have that on mine. Okay, so that's July 31st?
Is that Merrill?
Yes.
That's Merle. I make a motion that we do that.
Hey,
I'll second it.
any discussion? I know that the last time he was reviewed, it was Janet and myself who worked with him on his review. Did you hear?
Janet? Did you say Janet? I can't understand.
Shannon.
Who?
Shannon. Can you hear?
Shannon. Oh, Shannon.
Shannon, yeah. Shannon and I did the review of Merle with Merle 3 years ago. So what we would do again is we have 2 people who would volunteer to make up a review, meet with Merle, and go over his review with him and let him have input in it also. And that
Well, I would say that if you're already going to the town offices to meet with Juanetta regarding our business, that you and Juanetta do it while you're there when he's there.
So you would want Winnetta and myself to do it.
That's my suggestion.
Okay. Are there any other suggestions? Okay. Want to vote on that, please?
I will amend my motion to include having you and Juanetta do Merle's performance evaluation.
Okay, thank
Look
you.
at that.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay. No opposition. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
Okay. So the next item on the agenda is scheduled members of the public. Can,
May I make a motion to accept the administrative assistance report?
Second.
you do that? Any second?
Mike did.
All those in favor say aye. Or is there
Aye.
discussion? Any discussion about the report? Okay, all those in favor say aye for accepting.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the ayes have it, and the administrative assistant report is approved. We don't have scheduled members of the public. I don't know what happened to Ken Esty. Are you here, Ken?
I'm still here.
Are you
Hi,
a
Ken.
scheduled member or an unscheduled member?
Well, if permitted, I'd like to be an unscheduled member of the public.
Okay.
Speaking to Planning Commission.
Uh-huh. You're speaking for the planning commission?
Right. Speaking to issues pertaining to Planning Commission.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So I just wanted to say that by way of update, we haven't met because of the COVID crisis since February, and we're interested in beginning our work in earnest on the 25th of June. But I did want to just quickly check in on and update everybody on the membership of the Planning Commission. I know that back in March, you reappointed Bob McCandless to another 3-year term. And so that's great. And Lynn Forrest, her term is up in 2021. Marcia Highland stepped down or resigned, and that's reflected in the annual report for 2019. And our very own Angela stepped away to be present with you as a select board member. So that's fantastic for you, not so fantastic for us, but we're all working together. I just did have a question about my own status, and just to make sure I completely understand what's going on the roster for town officers in the annual report on page 18, I'm listed as being 2020. And my understanding is that that might mean my term was up in March 2020. Is that what that means? And that's a question. Because I'm operating now as if I'm the chair of the Planning Commission, but I might not really have that standing as a true and real member of the Planning Commission in June of 2020, as I think I might have needed to be reappointed if it was the pleasure of the select board back in, well, you know, that I would just need to be reappointed. Is that fair? Does anyone know how this works?
Well, Ken, first of all, we've had a very unusual year where everything has been disrupted and things
Yes.
put on hold or postponed. So I think we have to take that in consideration, that even though your term might have been up in March, you haven't been meeting, and
No.
everything's been up in the air. We're living day to day right now. So maybe
yes.
I want to talk to the planning commission about this too, the other members. And
Is that something we can do now?
to reappoint him?
Yes.
Well, we could certainly do that now if you want to, Ken. Do you want to?
Yeah, just to let the select board know, for sure, I'm willing to serve. Can I be willing to continue to serve? I would be with Lynn and with Bob. We would be 3, and that would constitute a quorum, as we're supposed to be a 5-member commission, and we've been working with diligence to try to get 2 other members. And we've had some close calls, but we're still working on it.
Yeah.
So that's our situation right now, is that if I were to be reappointed, then we would at least have quorum. And so we would have an official. My understanding, the terms are, as I understand it, are 3-year terms. It's, you know, that's my understanding.
I make a motion, we put him in for the next 3 years.
I second it.
I'll third it.
Well, I have a discussion. I have something to say. I think you've been great. And it's a very challenging job. I'm sure Angela can attest to that, and Lynn. It's a lot of work and a lot of commitment and time and energy. And I think the planning commission.
And wonderful people.
Wonderful people and incredible work that you all do. And so thank you for your service for the last 3 years. And I think it would be wonderful if you would continue and that we can vote you in. Thank you so much, Ken.
Well, sure thing, and thank you for considering this point of discussion at this moment. As I'm preparing for the June 25th meeting, I wanted to make sure I had the proper standing to even go forward.
Okay, so we have a motion and we can vote on it. We have a motion and a second. So all those in favor of having Ken's position reappointed for the next 3 years for the Planning Commission chairperson, please say aye.
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 Okay.
Also, I wanted to make a note that I am on the Wyndham Regional Commission, a couple of committees, and I think one is community planning and I can't recall. There was 2 committees that I chose. So I'll be a point person for your committee. And I was on a recent town planning seminar on Zoom.
Right. So, Shelley, you're thanks for that reminder, because that will be an agenda item. As to if you can attend on the 25th, we'll make sure that you and WRC are featured on the agenda.
Okay. June 25th, right? Okay, that's a Thursday,
Right, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. And you're going to have a Zoom, right?
Correct.
So just send me information.
Okay, will do.
Sounds good.
Great.
Very good, Shelley. Thanks. That's great. Okay. So I think you've been voted in.
Wow. All right.
Thank you, Ken.
Appreciate it. I'm going to go and celebrate now.
Yeah, yay. Good for you. Okay, thank you so much, Ken.
You're welcome.
We'll see you around the quad.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. We are up to old business, and that is the law enforcement contract. As you remember, we had 2 people from law enforcement. We had, where is it? This one's not in the vote. We had State Trooper French, Anthony French, and he actually responded, and Shelley had written out some, or requested more detailed information that you did send. Did you get that, Shelley? Shelley, can you hear me?
I can barely hear what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
You have to speak closer to the computer.
Okay. So Anthony French, who represented the state troopers, you had requested that he would be more detailed in citing what kind of arrests or conduct he.
Yes, I saw that email come through this afternoon.
Yeah.
I read it.
So the.
I want to read it out loud.
Okay, the 11 arrests from the state troopers were 1 domestic assault, 3 larceny, 1 fraud, 3 DUI, 1 disorderly conduct, and 2 arrests on warrant. So that was just detailed information.
That's for the year's work.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's just criminal cases. And then additional to that was tickets and warnings.
Right. And those
So-
contacts were current contract arrests 0, contract tickets 45, contract warnings 37.
And that's for 10, just for people to understand, looking at this, it's 10 hours a month, isn't it? About
I think he said 11 right now.
10 point something, yeah.
So with the report that Juanetta provided, she put in last year's contract and now this year's contract. Last year's contract, the total was $9,997.13 for the whole year. And
For how many contract hours does it say there?
yes, it does. It was, the contract hours per week were 2 hours and 54 minutes, I guess. But it's multiply line 1 and enter weekly hours, which was 2 hours and 54 hours, multiply 3 line total numbers of weeks of this contract, and enter total 132 hours for the year.
For a year.
Yeah. Now this year, it's almost the same. The one officer, 2 hours and 57 minutes, total of 52 hours for the year. Their hourly contract fee is $74.77, and the total for the year would be $9,992.26. So it's just a few dollars less than last year. And the total contract again would not exceed $10,000. And I'm going to read what the contract says about service provided. General Police Services. The Vermont State Police will enforce criminal and motor vehicle laws and ordinances on all lands and public highways within the town of Newfane, Vermont. They will patrol the roads to deter and prevent criminal activity, interact with the community, and foster the relationship between the residents of Newfane and the Vermont State Police and other services required. The number of hours each week and the time of patrol will be mutually agreed upon by the Vermont State Police Program Coordinator and the Selectboard Chairperson. This will adjust as needed and shall be subject to Vermont State Police availability. The program coordinator will also provide the select board with an annual report. So if you remember, this contract for 2020 ends on June 30, and we need to sign up with them if we choose them rather than the sheriff's department.
Well, why do we have to do that? I thought we were going to look at also the contract from the sheriff's department.
Never heard back from him.
Excuse me?
We never heard back from him.
We don't have a contract from them in our information.
Right. Juanetta had sent thank you letters to both the sheriff's office and the Vermont Police Office and asked if they had any more information. The Vermont State Troopers responded 2 times, whereas the sheriff's office did not respond. We have not heard from them.
Well, you have to ask for a contract.
Well, they didn't seem to respond to what Juanetta wrote.
Well, she didn't ask for a contract. We were looking for a contract to compare services.
So I will check with Juanetta on that.
So I don't know what she wrote.
In your packet, you have the copy for the state trooper report and contract.
Yes, we do, but also we were expecting to look at what the Wyndham County Sheriff's Department could do for us. That was the whole point of having the two.
Yes,
should have-
that's the whole point. And
Yeah, and
one party
so
responding and the other
I guess
party.
we dropped the ball and didn't specifically
didn't-
ask Juanetta to
No, we didn't.
ask for a contract.
My feeling is he attended a meeting and he should have followed up with a contract, a proposal to the town as to everything that he was going to do. And we haven't seen that. So, and we have to make a decision before the end of the month.
Renetta wrote the same letter to each party.
Well, what did the letter say?
I don't have it in front of me.
Well, we still have time. It's the 15th. We can have her specifically ask for a contract if they were interested in providing us a contract.
That's true. We can do that. We will do that.
Guess if not, we could be like Seattle. What do they call that? The Love Fest for the summer? We have a Love Fest out here for 2 weeks.
So I make a motion that we ask Juanetta to clarify with the Wyndham County Sheriff's Department if they would like to give us a contract for the year, a proposal.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second it, but if they don't have one here by next week, I think we have to go to the state. police.
Yes, I think we should, you're right. We should put a date on that.
Yeah.
And if it's not here by that date, we should Zoom
Today's
and
the
vote on
15th.
this.
We don't have it by the 22nd.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't see.
We'll go with the state
One
police.
second, let me look at the calendar.
and also like with the state troopers, we're supposed to get a monthly report. And we've asked and asked since I've been on the select board. We don't get them on a regular basis, or we don't see them at the select board. So I would request that Juanetta follow up and make sure we have a report from whomever we're having the contract with. Currently, it's with the state troopers, that they provide that report and that we read it out to the community so that people understand what they're doing. And also that contract that they gave us, it didn't state that they were to do any speed trapping or sitting to do a traffic control. They are to drive around the roads and interact with people.
The sentence that says the Vermont State Police will enforce criminal and motor vehicle laws and ordinance on all lands and public highways within the town of Newfane covers all of that.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that, but they're supposed to be, also it says driving versus a speed trap.
They do drive around. I've seen them driving around a
Oh,
lot.
I'm not saying that they are not driving around, Angela. What I'm stating is that they're not to be just sitting and just to do a speed trap.
Well, I don't think, first of all, in the village of Newfane, it's the sheriffs who do that. So you're not going to see in the village of Newfane, you're not going to see state troopers because.
Well, you will, because that's still the town of Newfane, but I have seen them all
Yes, but
over. I've
all
seen them on
through-
Dover Road.
Right.
This morning, there was one at the top of the hill by the school.
I'm not
I've seen
saying,
them up, they're
I'm not-
everywhere.
Actually, there, you know what?
I'm not saying that they aren't. All I'm saying is in their contract, it doesn't say that they would be doing any speed traps or sitting, for 2 hours. We only have them for 2 hours a month, isn't it? It's like 2 hours a month.
I actually have seen them a few times this week, including that they spent a few hours at the post office this afternoon. There was some kind of event going on where they were dealing with an important issue. I don't know the issue, but they were there for a few hours.
I'm not saying anything about that. All I'm saying is that it says in their contract that they would be driving around. I wanted to just clarify for everyone to understand for the town that if we're not hiring them to sit and do a speed trap. We are hiring them to drive around our roads.
That's what they say in the contract. You'll have
Yeah.
to read it. They said that. I read it that way.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
That's
it
what
says
I'm
that.
saying.
They will patrol the roads.
We just said that. I read the contract.
Yeah,
Are you
it's all,
saying that you want speed traps?
No, I'm not saying that I want speed traps. You guys are not understanding what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm just clarifying that they're to drive around the roads.
Right,
That's what the contract says,
Right.
and I read it aloud.
right.
Correct,
sometimes they
Mary.
drive all around. Sometimes they sit at a spot and then they drive around. They're never in one spot very long.
Yeah, they're
Well,
here for like 10 hours a month, right?
11, I think, Mike.
10, 11.
People are concerned in the community that they're just sitting to do, speeding, violations.
Well, that's part of the contract too, is to drive around and to do motor vehicle enforcement, you have to sit and monitor traffic. You
Not
can't,
necessarily. You could be driving around and notice a speeding person or something, but all I'm trying to verify with you guys is that, and with the town members, is that it's only 10 hours a month, and we want them roaming the roads.
Melissa,
And if they happen to find somebody speeding,
wait, Melissa had her hand raised.
So I actually have one of their invoices right in front of me.
Okay.
So it looks like for the week of April 14th, the week of April 22nd, 28th, and then May 6th, they put in a total of an hour and 0.25. So I'm assuming maybe an hour and 15 minutes per week. For a total for the month of 4 3/4 hours for the whole month.
So they're not really even doing anything based on their contract. What's their contract hours again?
I thought it was supposed to be like 8 hours a month.
9 point something, closer to 10?
I don't know, 8, I thought.
yeah, it's around 8.
Yeah, 8
So that's
something.
something we need to bring up with them too, is that they're not fulfilling their entire hours. So
And we don't get those reports on a regular basis, so we wouldn't know. That was April.
do you get the reports in with their bill, Melissa?
It's not really a report. It just kind of says how many hours they worked, and those go in with your monthly invoices
Pay
or the
orders.
pay orders.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
they're
seen it.
attached to the pay orders.
Okay.
But they don't give a breakdown of what they did like you guys wanted.
They used to, on occasion, send in a report, a monthly report.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them, and I know they have asked. Shannon has asked in the past for them too.
Correct. Back when Shannon, that was a big thing that we did not consistently get from them.
Yep.
So what I'm saying, if there's a contract, we need to know that they're doing what the contract stated. If they're not, then we have to follow up with them. Who's responsible for that? And,
Well, the thing of it is, maybe they ran over their hours on one of the other months.
well, they could have, but we wouldn't know that because
Right.
we didn't,
I think what we'll just have to do is make sure we tell them we want a monthly statement of what they do along with the bill.
yeah,
I think they do come in every year around $10,000, so they keep it pretty tight to that.
I mean, today there was 2 of them in town over here by the post office doing something. I mean, they're around all the time. I see them around. It isn't just for what they do for us, they're here when they get a report anyways, so.
right.
They're in town a lot more than 10 hours a month.
Right. And we keep hearing that when people have an issue, they think they can go to the Windham County Sheriff's Office. We don't have a contract with them, and they're a contract only. So looking at what they could offer us for here being that they're right in Newfane, I believe the rate was cheaper than the troopers. The troopers would always come for any emergency, if there was someone that passed away, if there was any crime. But the Windham County Sheriff's Office would be more of a town contact, closer, easier to be able to walk in the office if they have a concern. Right now, they turn them away and say, we don't have a contract with the town of Newfane. You'll have to call the troopers.
Like I said, let's give them till the next week.
Yep.
If we don't have nothing by then, we'll go with the state police.
I
Yeah.
agree with you, Mike.
Okay. So we'll do that.
So Juanetta will follow up and send a specific email asking for the contract if they're interested.
So will
And
we have a
report
quick,
back.
will we have a quick meeting regarding this on the 22nd?
Well, Renetta will let us know.
Excellent.
We can email everybody.
Okay.
Good.
The next item is Town Hall Edition. And we talked about that last week again. I said last week, I think it was the last time we met, that there's been so much attention.
Can you speak into the computer more, Marion?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
That's better.
Okay. Mike was mentioning a few weeks ago that basically everybody, well, he was speaking for himself, but it's really, we all were very involved with dealing with COVID-19 and not having that much attention on what's going to happen with the Town Hall Edition. And I think that a decision should be made either today or another time pretty soon if you want to follow through with this at this time. Shelley, you had said your opinion last time was that with everything going on now and people not having money often because they've lost their jobs or the economy is not great, that this might not be or the appropriate time to be spending a lot of money on adding an addition. And we said that we would consider both sides of it. And so that's where we're at. And I don't know if the board wants to make a final decision tonight, or you just want to put it on hold for a little while.
I think it should be a decision when we're all available.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that we're still in the COVID-19 era where we are on Zoom, we're not together. This is not an emergency right now. And Shelley, you have a very valid point, and Mike also. So I think with Angela saying that, I agree that we'll put it on hold for a little while. Is that good?
Do we need to have a motion?
No.
Okay.
Well, I think we should document what we're doing, so.
Well, Juanetta's taking notes.
Well, hopefully it gets in there.
What?
Hopefully it gets in there. It states that we're putting it on hold.
Yes, she will.
And we will resume it when we're back in together.
Yes, she will put
In
that
person.
Okay. Thank you. New business. First business is a VLCT local government resolution. Do you have that paperwork, everybody?
No, I don't, but
Yeah,
shame on me.
I'm on you. Do you have it, Angela?
Yes.
Just 1 second, I'm just looking for my. Okay, this is about, it's not anything we have to vote on, but it's a Vermont local government resolution. Angela, would you like to read some of it for us? You don't have to read the whole thing.
The resolution or the email from David Gunn?
Well, it's an email from David Gunn.
You want me to read that?
Yeah.
All right, it's from David Gunn from VLCT, or to VLCT. Oh, it's from, sorry. Vermont Local Government Resolution. Thank you all for all that you are doing to serve your community at a time of uncertainty and in preparation for economic recovery. The work you do is critical and clearly has required tireless dedication. While you may not be named as a frontline hero in the emergency, we all know that you are, and we remain grateful for your efforts. The Vermont League of Cities and Towns has joined the National League of Cities campaign to lobby Congress for direct federal aid to cities and towns throughout the country. The VLCT board voted to participate in the campaign financially and through active advocacy. To that end, we have prepared the attached resolution as both a Word document and PDF file for select boards to adopt to show your support to our federal delegation. We are asking that you review it and, if you agree, adopt it, have it signed by the board chair, if possible, date it and return it to us. We will forward all of the resolutions to Senators Leahy and Saunders and Congressman Welch, hopefully by Friday, June 12th. Oh, that was last week. Thank you for your consideration of this request. Please let me know if you have questions about the resolution or have other thoughts about the campaign for federal funding. In the meantime, I hope that you and your families and communities remain healthy and safe.
Okay, Renetta called VLCT last week and asked them if they would wait until our meeting today, which is June 15th. So we're a little late, but they said not to worry about it. It's totally fine. And it's one piece of paper with,
Well, can we read the resolution then?
Sure. Would you like me to continue reading?
yes, please.
Yes, please.
Resolution: all cities, towns, and villages in Vermont are essential, and Vermont local officials support fair and direct federal emergency aid to reopen and rebuild local American economies. Whereas America's cities, towns, and villages face unprecedented threats due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic emergency, whereas municipalities are essential to America's economic recovery, and without funding support for local governments, municipalities may go from being a critical part of the economic solution to becoming a major obstacle to long-term stabilization and recovery. Whereas America's cities, towns, and villages will experience budgetary shortfalls of up to $134 billion in fiscal year 2020 alone, and the negative effects of the pandemic emergency on communities will continue long after this year. Whereas 3 million critical municipal worker jobs are at risk, threatening cuts to basic community services, including 911 response, sanitation, economy recovery, and maintenance. Whereas communities have taken extraordinary measures to protect health, safety, and the continuation of essential services throughout the emergency. Whereas Vermont's municipal leaders are united in helping their communities make a strong comeback after experiencing furloughs among municipal staff, loss of direct municipal revenue, and tremendous demand from residents and Main Street and other local businesses for assistance. And whereas America's rural communities and small towns, especially here in Vermont, are struggling just as much as big cities and risk being left far behind. Now, therefore, be it resolved that 1, Vermont local officials call on Congress to allocate fair and direct federal support to all of America's communities, regardless of population size. 2, this funding be flexible and address not only the additional expenses incurred by communities to respond to the pandemic emergency, but also the dramatic budgetary shortfalls resulting from pauses in commerce, tourism, and other economic engines.
Right.
3, local governments will ensure federal funds are immediately used to rebuild and reopen the economy. 4, funding will keep workers employed and critical services operating. And 5, Vermont local officials have been part of the emergency response and now call on Congress to build a united national partnership for a safe, healthy, prosperous life. Submitted by the town of, and that would be us.
So we just have to write town of Newfane, and the board chair would sign it, and then Renetta will send it back to the VLCT.
I make a motion that we have Marion sign it.
I second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, thank you. I will sign it and Lynetta will send it back to them. So, moving right along, the next one is something that Shelley asked to have put on the agenda, and that is the interim zoning measures for the pandemic emergency, June 2020. So would you like to discuss this, Shelley?
No, I gave it to you to bring it up.
You have the paperwork in front of you?
No, I don't. I sent it to you.
Well, I think you sent it to everybody. Do you have a copy, Angela?
I can't access, was it sent by email? I can't access my
Yeah,
email at the
I
moment.
can't access my email.
Okay. Well, then what I'd like to do is...
It wasn't in our package, whatever.
Okay. I would like to put this off and table it until our next meeting. And then when everybody has a copy in front of them, then we can talk about it.
Okay.
Shelley, you had said that you had just joined. It was important for you that you wanted us to see it. So I think it would be great if when we all have the copy in front of you, you can lead the discussion if you're willing to do that next on July 6th.
It was, okay, well, I thought it would be put on the agenda.
It was.
Copies.
It's on the
I know,
agenda.
but copies of it would be sent around. I don't have a copy of it, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I know that Renetta sent it all out. I'm sorry. Okay. So we'll table this till July 6th meeting. So the last thing is correspondence. And we do have a very nice card. And Jay, I think you've done this. You wrote because it's addressed to the Selectboard and Road Department, and it's by Henrietta Mantel. On behalf of myself, well, she says, Dear Selectboard and Road Department, on behalf of myself, my family, and everyone in the cemetery, thank you so much for fixing the stone wall on the Cemetery Hill Road. A beautiful job, well done. Thanks, Henrietta Mantel. And I must say, Jay, I walk by it several times a week, and it is beautifully done. So thank you so much. Do you all know which road?
I took a picture of it. I was hoping that somebody might have, taken a picture of the before and after.
Well, maybe you could share your pictures with us.
Yeah, I took a picture of it afterwards. It looks really good.
And you said you took a picture of it before, too?
I don't think I have it, no.
Oh,
I don't think I did either.
okay.
That's, while we're talking about it, it's probably something another year or maybe 2 years, we should think about doing another section of it up around the corner. So.
Yeah.
Well, it really looks so great, and it really had been quite dangerous.
Jay, was it
Good job.
falling just because of the age, or had it been hit by a snowplow?
No, a lot of it, I think, was the pressure from above it.
Mhm.
It's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So he brought stone in to behind it, so it should have good drainage now.
Yeah.
And I think it'll help it. I think it should last a while, so hopefully.
Okay.
And then if we can do another section a year or two or whatever, I think that'll help the whole, at least go up around the corner where it's been the worst, so.
And did we stay in budget for that?
Yep, it was 2,500, I think, was the total on that. Actually, I think we got the pay order in the pay orders tonight.
That's what we approved for it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, really great. Thanks a lot.
I will
Thank you.
send it over to Lynetta so she can put it somewhere in the file. Print it out and put it in the file.
Print what up? The photo?
The picture,
Yeah.
so
Okay, great.
we have, paper documentation of it.
Yep. Okay, so we are all done with our agenda for tonight. The next part of the agenda is pay orders. So this part of the meeting is over, and I thank everybody for being here. And we'll move on. So have a happy week. We will have Lynetta write a letter to the sheriff's department and ask them for a contract. And the deadline would that be for next Monday. If we don't hear from them, then
And our next meeting is scheduled for,
July 6th, Monday. And at that meeting, where's Melissa? Melissa,
I think she's gone.
yeah, at that meeting, we're going to be opening the bids for those 4 properties,
Okay,
okay?
yeah, I saw it in the paper, so it was
Yeah. Okay, and then, Jay,
done.
the paper is here for Winetta for the Monroe Bridge.
Okay.
The bid, okay? So that's it. Have a good night, everybody, and stay healthy and safe.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.